When we consider making significant changes to our lives, we often imagine dramatic transformations, those monumental decisions or pivotal moments that seem to change everything in an instant. However, after years of observing people succeed and struggle, I've come to realize that this approach doesn't align with reality. The truth is, the biggest, most lasting changes in life don't come from grand gestures. Instead, they are the result of small, seemingly inconsequential actions, taken consistently over time. It's not the large, dramatic shifts that shape our lives. It's the accumulation of the small, everyday habits we cultivate. If you're looking to create meaningful, long-lasting improvements in your life, the best place to start is with small changes. These are the habits and routines that are easy to overlook because they don't seem impactful at first glance. Yet when repeated day after day, they add up. This process of compounding, where each small action builds upon the previous one, leads to results that can be extraordinary. You might not notice it immediately, but over time, the impact becomes undeniable. One day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come, and you'll see that it all began with those small, consistent steps. Now consider this idea. What if changing just 10 small habits could completely reshape your life? Doesn't that sound achievable? You wouldn't need to overhaul your entire routine or make enormous sacrifices. Instead, these adjustments would be manageable, practical, and within your reach. It's not about making huge leaps. It's about taking small, steady steps forward. This is where the power of habits truly shines. Unlike sudden, massive changes, which can feel daunting and unsustainable, small habits are simple to incorporate into your life. They don't require drastic changes to your schedule or rely on some extraordinary stroke of luck. Instead, they're practices you can adopt today, using whatever resources you already have. But what are these habits? What daily practices, if embraced, could transform your life forever? That's exactly what we're going to explore together. The first habit is reading, but not just any kind of reading. I'm talking about intentional reading. Choosing material that expands your mind, challenges your perspective, and introduces you to new ways of thinking. Too often, people dismiss reading as something they don't have time for, especially in today's fast-paced world. However, reading is one of the most effective ways to feed your mind and fuel your growth. Think of it this way. Just as your body needs nutritious food to stay healthy and strong, your mind requires nourishment to thrive. And books are one of the best sources of this nourishment. Every book you open is like holding a piece of someone else's life, their knowledge, their experience, their insights. Through reading, you can gain wisdom that took someone else years to develop, all in a fraction of the time. The beauty of this habit is that it doesn't require hours of your day. Even 15 minutes of focused, intentional reading can have a profound impact over time. The knowledge you gain through this practice compounds, just like interest in a bank account. Over time, that accumulated wisdom changes how you think, solve problems, and approach challenges. However, not all reading is beneficial. You need to be selective about what you consume. Spending your time on gossip, fluff, or trivial content won't help you grow. Instead, focus on material that aligns with your goals and aspirations. Choose books that challenge you to think differently, whether they're biographies, self-improvement guides, or works on business strategy. Remember, where you want to go in life depends on the ideas and knowledge you expose yourself to today. When you make reading a daily habit, You'll begin to notice changes in how you think and process information. Your decisions will become more informed, your perspective will broaden, and your life will start moving in a new direction. It's not just about consuming words on a page. It's about investing in your growth and setting the stage for your future. The second habit is one that's often underestimated: journaling. Many of the world's most successful people keep a journal and use it daily. Writing down your thoughts, goals, and ideas can be incredibly transformative. When you take the time to put your thoughts on paper, something remarkable happens. They become clearer, more concrete, and easier to act on. Without a journal, your mind can feel like a cluttered room. Ideas, worries, and plans swirl around, creating chaos and making it hard to focus. But when you write these thoughts down, it's like organizing that messy room. Everything suddenly feels more manageable. You're no longer trying to hold on to everything in your head, which can be mentally exhausting. Instead, you create space for clarity and creativity. Journaling doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. Even spending 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference. The simple act of writing allows you to reflect, plan, and track your progress. Over time, your journal becomes a record of your journey, something you can look back on to see how far you've come, what you've achieved, and the challenges you've overcome. There's something incredibly empowering about being able to review past entries and recognize your growth. It's a reminder of your resilience, determination, and ability to achieve your goals. Journaling helps you stay focused on what matters most and allows you to create a roadmap for your future. To get started, set aside a few minutes each day to write. It doesn't need to be perfect or profound. The key is simply to make it a habit. Let your thoughts flow freely, and you'll quickly see the benefits in your focus, clarity, and personal growth. The third habit we're going to discuss is setting goals. It might seem obvious, but this simple practice can dramatically change the trajectory of your life. Without clear goals, you're like a ship adrift at sea, moving but without a destination. You might be busy, but you're not heading anywhere specific. Goals provide direction, focus, and a sense of purpose, transforming vague intentions into actionable plans. Think of goal setting as giving yourself a compass. When you have a clear target, you know where to direct your energy and attention. Every action you take, every decision you make, becomes purposeful, moving you closer to your desired outcome. Instead of wasting time on distractions or activities that don't serve your bigger purpose, you stay aligned with your objectives. Most people approach goal setting as a once-a-year activity, something they do on New Year's Eve before quickly forgetting about it. But to make goals truly effective, you need to engage with them every day. When you wake up each morning, take a moment to ask yourself, what's the one thing I can accomplish today that will bring me closer to my goals? Write it down. By doing this, you give your mind a clear task and a sense of focus for the day. However, it's essential to make your goals specific. Vague aspirations like, I want to be successful or I want to get fit, don't provide enough clarity to drive meaningful action. What does success look like to you? What does being fit mean in practical terms? Break these broader goals into smaller, actionable steps. For example, instead of saying, I want to get fit, set a goal to exercise for 30 minutes a day or eat more vegetables at each meal. The more specific and measurable your goals are, the easier it will be to track your progress and stay motivated. When you incorporate goal setting into your daily routine, you'll start to notice consistent progress over time. These small, incremental wins add up, leading to significant achievements. The key is not just to set goals, but to engage with them regularly, making them a part of your everyday life. Over time, this habit will help you accomplish far more than you ever thought possible. The next habit is one that many people overlook or struggle to maintain. Taking care of your body through proper exercise and nutrition. This habit isn't just about physical health. It's about enhancing your energy, focus, and overall well-being. A healthy body supports a sharp mind, enabling you to perform at your best in all areas of life. Exercise is a powerful tool, not just for your body, but also for your mind. When you move your body, you're sending a powerful message to yourself. I am capable, I am strong, and I am alive. This mindset has a ripple effect, boosting your confidence and resilience in other areas of your life. Physical activity also releases endorphins, which improve your mood, reduce stress, and enhance your overall mental clarity. You don't need to spend hours at the gym or commit to an intense workout routine to see results. Even a 20-minute walk, a light stretching session, or simple strength training can make a big difference. The key is consistency. It's better to do something small every day than to overexert yourself once a week and risk burning out. The habit of regular movement is what brings lasting benefits. In addition to exercise, it's crucial to fuel your body with the right foods. Think of food as the fuel that powers your mind and body. When you prioritize nutritious, wholesome meals, you'll notice improvements in your energy levels, focus, and productivity. Conversely, a diet filled with processed, unhealthy foods can leave you feeling sluggish and unfocused. Taking care of your body also serves as a metaphor for life. Just as you build strength and endurance through consistent effort, you can develop resilience and perseverance in other areas by pushing through challenges and staying committed. This mindset shift will serve you well, not just in health, but in every goal you pursue. Gratitude is a habit that's often underestimated because of its simplicity. Yet, it holds the power to shift your perspective and, ultimately, your life. What you focus on expands. If you constantly dwell on what's lacking in your life, what you don't have, or what's going wrong, you'll continue to notice and attract more of those negative experiences. On the other hand, if you focus on what's good, what's working, and what you're thankful for, your mindset and outlook will change for the better. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about training your mind to recognize the positives in any situation. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. Instead, it's about choosing to see the good amidst the bad. For example, even during difficult times, there are always things to be thankful for. A supportive friend, a beautiful sunset, or even the opportunity to learn and grow through adversity. Making gratitude a daily habit is simple. Every day, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for. You don't need to find grand or life-changing reasons. The small, everyday blessings are just as important. Maybe it's the cup of coffee you enjoyed this morning, the laughter you shared with a loved one, or simply the fact that you woke up to a new day. Writing these things down can make the practice even more powerful. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to focus more on the positives. You'll find yourself noticing and appreciating the good in your life more frequently, which can lead to greater happiness and fulfillment. Gratitude also has a magnetic quality. It attracts more of what you focus on, creating a cycle of positivity and abundance. The sixth habit is one that's often overlooked in today's fast-paced, always-on culture: rest. Many of us wake up each morning ready to tackle the day's demands and keep going non-stop until we collapse into bed at night. Rest becomes an afterthought, something we only acknowledge when we're utterly exhausted. However, this approach can be counterproductive. Without sufficient rest and recovery, both your mind and body begin to falter. Over time, you may find yourself burning out, unable to perform at your best. Rest isn't just about getting a good night's sleep, though sleep is undoubtedly crucial. It's also about intentionally stepping away from the constant noise and demands of life to allow your mind and body to recharge. Think about how your best ideas often come to you in moments of stillness, when you're in the shower, taking a walk, or simply sitting quietly. That's because your brain needs downtime to process information, solve problems, and spark creativity. Our culture often glorifies the hustle. People take pride in working 24/7, staying busy and grinding toward their goals. While hard work is essential, it's equally important to recognize that working smarter, not harder, is the key to long-term success. And part of working smart involves knowing when to rest. Your brain is an incredibly powerful tool, but it requires periods of recovery to function optimally. Rest doesn't always mean doing nothing. For some, rest might look like meditation, taking a leisurely walk in nature, or engaging in a relaxing hobby. For others, it might mean spending time with loved ones, or enjoying a moment of quiet solitude. Whatever form it takes, the goal is to give yourself the mental and physical space to recharge. When you prioritize rest, you come back stronger. Your energy levels rise, your focus sharpens, and your creativity flourishes. Rest isn't a luxury or a sign of weakness. It's a necessity for achieving your goals and living a fulfilling life. Make it a habit to incorporate rest into your daily routine, whether that's through short breaks, mindfulness practices, or ensuring you get enough sleep each night. The seventh habit is giving, and it's one of the most rewarding practices you can adopt. This habit isn't just about material generosity. It's about giving your time, energy, kindness, and attention to others. There's an old saying, the more you give, the more you receive. While it may sound cliché, there's truth to it, though not necessarily in the way you might expect. Giving isn't about seeking something in return. When you give freely, without expecting anything back, you create a sense of fulfillment and joy that no material reward can match. The act of giving enriches your life by fostering deeper connections, building trust, and creating a ripple effect of positivity. It's almost as if the universe recognizes your contribution and responds by opening new doors and opportunities for you. Giving also includes generosity toward yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup, so it's essential to prioritize your own needs and well-being. When you take care of yourself, you have more to give to others. This balance ensures that your giving comes from a place of abundance rather than sacrifice. There are countless ways to give. It could be as simple as offering a listening ear to a friend, mentoring someone who looks up to you, volunteering your time for a cause you care about, or even sharing a smile with a stranger. Small acts of kindness often have the greatest impact. By making giving a daily habit, you'll notice a profound shift in your perspective and overall sense of purpose. Listening is a habit that might seem simple, but it's incredibly powerful when practiced intentionally. Many people believe they're good listeners, but in reality, they're often just waiting for their turn to speak. True listening is a skill that requires focus, patience, and presence. It's not about hearing words. It's about understanding the emotions, intentions, and meaning behind them. When you genuinely listen to someone, you show that you value their thoughts, feelings, and opinions. This kind of attention strengthens relationships, builds trust, and fosters mutual respect. In a world full of distractions, where people are constantly vying for attention, offering someone your undivided focus is a rare and meaningful gift. Listening goes beyond the words being spoken. Pay attention to tone, body language, and the emotions underlying the conversation. Resist the urge to interrupt or immediately offer advice. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply hold space for someone to express themselves fully. This habit doesn't just benefit the person you're listening to, it also benefits you. By actively listening, you gain deeper insights, expand your understanding, and make better decisions. You'll also find that people trust you more and value your presence because they feel truly heard and understood. Start practicing active listening in your daily interactions. It doesn't require any special tools or training, just your attention and a willingness to be present. Over time, this habit will transform not only your relationships, but also your perspective on communication and connection. The ninth habit is one that's often easier said than done: patience. In today's fast-paced world, where instant gratification is the norm, practicing patience can feel like swimming against the current. We've become accustomed to quick results, immediate feedback, same-day delivery, and instant recognition. Yet anything truly worthwhile takes time, effort, and persistence. Patience is not just a virtue. It's a superpower that enables you to endure the process, trust the journey, and ultimately achieve your long-term goals. Patience doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. Instead, it's about taking consistent, deliberate actions while understanding that results won't always come immediately. Think of it as planting a seed. You water it, care for it, and ensure it has sunlight. But for a while, it seems like nothing is happening. Beneath the surface, however, roots are growing, establishing the foundation for what will eventually bloom. Success works the same way. The work you put in today may not show immediate rewards, but it's laying the groundwork for future achievements. One of the biggest reasons people give up on their goals is a lack of patience. They become discouraged when they don't see progress right away and abandon their efforts too soon. Those who succeed, however, are the ones who persevere. They understand that growth and success are gradual processes, requiring time and dedication. To develop patience as a habit, start by shifting your mindset. Instead of focusing solely on the outcome, learn to appreciate the process. Celebrate the small wins along the way, no matter how minor they may seem. Remind yourself that great things take time, and trust that your consistent efforts will pay off in the end. Patience also helps you stay calm and focused, reducing the stress and frustration that often come with unmet expectations. By practicing patience, you'll find that life becomes more enjoyable. You'll be less stressed, more resilient, and better equipped to navigate challenges. This mindset doesn't just make the journey more bearable, it makes it rewarding. Patience allows you to stay committed to your goals, no matter how long the journey takes, and helps you build the perseverance needed to achieve lasting success. The final habit is perhaps one of the most impactful. Choosing the people you spend time with wisely. It's often said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Your environment shapes your thoughts, beliefs, and actions more than you might realize. If you surround yourself with negative, small-minded individuals, it will be incredibly challenging to rise above that energy. On the other hand, if you immerse yourself in the company of positive, ambitious, and growth-oriented people, their energy will lift you up and inspire you to strive for more. The influence of your social circle is profound. The people around you can either motivate you to become your best self or hold you back from reaching your full potential. That's why it's essential to be intentional about the relationships you cultivate. Seek out individuals who align with your values and goals. People who challenge you to think bigger, support your aspirations, and celebrate your successes. This doesn't mean cutting ties with everyone in your life who doesn't fit this mold, but it does mean being mindful of how much time and energy you invest in those relationships. If certain individuals consistently drain your energy or discourage your growth, it may be time to reevaluate their role in your life. At the same time, make an effort to connect with those who inspire and uplift you. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a colleague, surrounding yourself with the right people can make all the difference. This habit isn't just about what others can do for you. It's also about what you bring to the table. Be the kind of person who adds value to others' lives. Encourage, support, and uplift those around you. When you contribute positively to your relationships, you create a ripple effect that benefits everyone involved. As a result, you'll find yourself growing alongside others, creating a network of mutual support and inspiration. Take a moment to reflect on your current social circle. Are the people around you helping you become the person you want to be? If not, it might be time to make some changes. Your environment has a powerful impact on your growth, and you have the ability to choose the kind of influence you allow into your life. By surrounding yourself with the right people, you set yourself up for success and create a foundation for continuous improvement. By now, we've explored the profound impact small, daily habits can have on your life. But how do you take these concepts and integrate them effectively into your daily routine? The key lies in simplicity, consistency, and self-awareness. Let's dive deeper into how you can begin incorporating these transformative practices. One of the most common mistakes people make when attempting to change their lives is trying to do too much at once. It's tempting to overhaul everything all at once. Your diet, exercise routine, work habits, and relationships. But this approach often leads to overwhelm and burnout. Instead, focus on starting with just one habit. Choose something manageable and relevant to your current goals. Once that habit becomes second nature, move on to the next. For example, if you're looking to improve your mental clarity, begin with a journaling habit. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to writing down your thoughts, goals, or reflections. After a few weeks, when this habit feels automatic, you can add another practice, such as daily reading or a gratitude exercise. The gradual introduction of habits ensures that the changes you make are sustainable. One of the most effective ways to establish a new habit is by linking it to an existing routine. These are called habit triggers. A trigger is simply a cue that reminds you to perform your new habit. For instance, if you want to start practicing gratitude daily, you might link it to brushing your teeth. Every time you brush your teeth, take a moment to think of 3 things you're grateful for. By pairing the new habit with an established one, you're more likely to remember and stick with it. Another example could be adding a short exercise routine to your morning coffee ritual. While waiting for your coffee to brew, perform a quick set of stretches or push-ups. Over time, these actions become automatic, as the trigger reinforces the habit. Tracking your progress is an essential part of habit building. It's easy to overlook how far you've come when you're focused on daily tasks. By keeping a record of your habits, whether in a journal, an app, or a simple checklist, you create a visual representation of your efforts. This not only helps you stay accountable, but also provides motivation as you see your consistency build over time. In addition to tracking, don't forget to celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Each step forward is progress and deserves recognition. For example, if you've committed to reading 10 minutes a day and managed to do so for a week straight, treat yourself to something enjoyable, like a favorite snack or a relaxing activity. These celebrations reinforce your progress and keep you motivated. Life is dynamic, and your habits may need to adapt as circumstances change. Periodically take the time to reflect on your progress. Ask yourself, is this habit still serving my goals? Are there ways to improve or adjust it? Being flexible and open to change ensures that your habits continue to align with your evolving needs and aspirations. Reflection also helps you identify potential obstacles. For instance, if you find it difficult to maintain an exercise routine because your evenings are too busy, consider shifting it to the morning. Small adjustments like this can make a big difference in maintaining your momentum. While small habits are powerful, it's essential to remember why you're building them in the first place. What is your ultimate goal? Whether it's achieving professional success, improving your health, or cultivating stronger relationships. Keeping your why in mind will fuel your commitment to these daily practices. Your vision acts as a guiding star, providing direction and purpose. Every time you feel discouraged or tempted to give up, revisit your goals. Remind yourself that the small actions you take today are laying the foundation for the future you desire. Change doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. The beauty of small habits lies in their cumulative power. Each day, as you practice these habits, you're making incremental progress that may not be immediately visible. However, with time, the results will become undeniable. Trust in the process and have faith that your consistent efforts will pay off. Think of it like planting seeds in a garden. At first, there's little to show for your work. But as you continue to water and nurture the seeds, they begin to sprout and grow. Eventually, you'll reap the rewards of your patience and dedication. Building habits is one thing, but sustaining them is another. It's easy to feel motivated when starting something new, but maintaining that momentum requires discipline, intentionality, and a strong mindset. This section focuses on strategies to ensure the habits you develop continue to thrive, even during challenging times. The foundation of any long-term habit is your mindset. Challenges, distractions, and setbacks are inevitable, but your response to them determines whether your habits persist. A resilient mindset isn't about avoiding failure. It's about bouncing back quickly and staying committed despite obstacles. When you stumble, and you will, resist the urge to give up entirely. One missed day doesn't undo your progress. The key is to avoid turning a small lapse into a complete derailment. For example, if you miss a workout, instead of dwelling on it, commit to getting back on track the very next day. This approach helps you maintain momentum and prevents the all or nothing mentality that often leads to failure. Adopting a growth mindset, believing that you can improve through effort, further strengthens your resilience. View setbacks as opportunities to learn and adjust rather than as evidence of failure. This perspective encourages you to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Accountability is a powerful motivator for sustaining habits. When you know someone else is aware of your goals and progress, you're more likely to follow through. Accountability can take many forms, from sharing your goals with a friend or family member to joining a community of like-minded individuals. For example, if you've committed to journaling every morning, tell a trusted friend about your intention. They can check in with you periodically to see how it's going. Alternatively, you might join a group of people working towards similar habits, such as a book club for consistent reading or a fitness class for regular exercise. Knowing that others are counting on you helps strengthen your commitment. Another effective accountability tool is a habit tracker. Whether it's a physical calendar, a digital app, or a simple notebook, tracking your progress creates a sense of responsibility and satisfaction. Each time you check off a completed habit, you reinforce the positive behavior. When working toward long-term goals, it's important to celebrate small victories along the way. These milestones remind you of the progress you've made and provide motivation to keep going. The cumulative effect of small wins builds confidence and reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. For instance, if your goal is to read more, acknowledge the achievement of finishing a chapter or completing a book. If you're working on fitness, celebrate reaching a new personal best or simply showing up consistently for a week. These small moments of success create momentum and make the journey more enjoyable. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your habits. If your surroundings make it difficult to stick to a habit, you're more likely to give up. Conversely, creating an environment that supports your goals makes it easier to stay consistent. Start by identifying potential barriers in your current environment. For example, if your goal is to eat healthier, but your pantry is stocked with junk food, it will be challenging to make better choices. Replace unhealthy snacks with nutritious options to create an environment that encourages success. Similarly, if you want to develop a habit of reading daily, place a book on your nightstand or carry one with you during the day. These small adjustments serve as visual cues that remind you of your intentions and make it easier to follow through. While intrinsic motivation is ideal, external rewards can also play a role in maintaining habits, especially in the early stages. Rewarding yourself for sticking to a habit reinforces the behavior and makes it more enjoyable. However, it's essential to use rewards strategically. Choose rewards that align with your goals rather than undermining them. For example, if your habit is exercising regularly, a reward could be purchasing new workout gear rather than indulging in an unhealthy treat. The reward should complement your progress and motivate you to continue. Over time, the habit itself often becomes its own reward. As you experience the benefits, improved focus, better health, or increased confidence, you'll feel less reliant on external incentives. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes, often at the most inconvenient times. Discipline, on the other hand, is reliable. It's what keeps you moving forward, even when motivation wanes. Building discipline requires practice and intentionality, but it's the cornerstone of lasting habits. One way to strengthen discipline is by committing to non-negotiables. These are small, manageable actions that you'll do no matter what. For example, if your habit is daily journaling, your non-negotiable might be writing at least one sentence every day. Even on busy or difficult days, you can achieve this small task, keeping the habit alive. Discipline also thrives on routines. Establishing a consistent schedule for your habits reduces decision fatigue and makes it easier to follow through. For example, if you always exercise at the same time each day, it becomes a natural part of your routine rather than something you have to think about or debate. Lastly, remember that habits are a long-term investment in your future. The changes you're making now might not yield immediate results, but over time, they will compound into significant transformations. Keep your focus on the bigger picture and trust in the process. Whenever you feel discouraged or impatient, revisit your why. Remind yourself of the reasons you started and the vision you have for your future. This clarity will reignite your commitment and help you stay on track. The beauty of small habits lies in their simplicity. At first glance, they may seem trivial, even insignificant. However, their true power becomes evident over time. These habits, though small in isolation, have the potential to change your life in ways you might never have imagined. By committing to them and allowing them to compound, you can create extraordinary results. Think about this. Most of the significant successes people achieve in life don't happen in one dramatic leap. Instead, they're the result of consistent daily actions. Whether it's building a career, improving your health, or cultivating meaningful relationships, the process is always the same. Small steps taken consistently over time lead to big changes. When you first start implementing these habits, the changes might feel slow or even invisible. It's easy to wonder if they're making a difference at all. But this is where the magic of compounding comes into play. Just like saving money in a bank account where interest accumulates over time, the impact of small habits grows exponentially. The effects might not be noticeable in days or weeks, but give it months or years, and you'll look back astonished at how far you've come. For instance, committing to reading 10 minutes a day might seem like a tiny effort. Yet over a year, those minutes add up to hours of new knowledge, perspective, and growth. Similarly, writing down your goals each morning might feel repetitive at first, but over time, it helps align your actions with your aspirations, steadily moving you closer to your dreams. The secret to achieving remarkable outcomes is understanding that success isn't about making one huge effort. It's about showing up consistently. When you embrace the power of small habits, you tap into a strategy that works quietly and persistently to reshape your life. If there's one takeaway from this journey, it's this. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to begin. The right time to start is now. You don't need to overhaul your entire life or commit to every habit at once. Instead, focus on one small change you can make today. It doesn't have to be anything monumental. What matters is starting. For example, if you're drawn to the idea of practicing gratitude, begin by writing down one thing you're grateful for each day. If journaling appeals to you, set aside just 5 minutes to jot down your thoughts. The key is to begin in a way that feels manageable and sustainable. Once that habit becomes part of your routine, you can build on it by adding new practices. The beauty of starting small is that it removes the pressure of perfection. You're not striving for instant results. You're committing to progress, no matter how incremental. This mindset not only makes the process more enjoyable, but also ensures that the changes you make are lasting. The most important ingredient for success with these habits is consistency. It's not about how much you do on any given day. It's about showing up day after day without fail. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't do it once and expect your teeth to stay clean forever. It's a daily commitment that becomes second nature over time. When life gets busy or challenging, it's tempting to let habits fall by the wayside. This is where resilience and discipline come in. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's persistence. Missing a day here or there won't ruin your progress. But letting those small lapses turn into a pattern can derail your efforts. The secret to consistency is to make it as easy as possible to follow through. Set reminders, simplify your routine, and create an environment that supports your goals. The idea of transforming your entire life might feel overwhelming, but when you break it down into small, actionable steps, it becomes attainable. Each habit you adopt builds on the last, creating a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. Over time, you'll notice changes in how you think, how you make decisions, and how you approach challenges. These shifts might seem subtle at first, but as they accumulate, they lead to profound transformations. Picture your life a year from now if you committed to just a few of these habits. Imagine the clarity, confidence, and momentum you could build by consistently taking small steps toward your goals. The possibilities are limitless, and it all starts with a decision to begin. The ultimate reward of cultivating these habits isn't just achieving your goals. It's the person you become in the process. These habits help you develop discipline, resilience, and a growth-oriented mindset. They empower you to take control of your life, align your actions with your values, and live with purpose. By committing to small, intentional changes, you're not just improving your circumstances. You're creating a life that reflects your highest potential. And the best part? You don't have to wait for some distant future to experience the benefits. The act of showing up for yourself each day, of investing in your growth, is fulfilling in its own right. As you embark on this journey of transformation, remember that it's not about reaching a final destination. Growth is a lifelong process, and the habits you cultivate today are stepping stones toward an ever-evolving version of yourself. Embrace the journey with patience, curiosity, and gratitude, knowing that every small effort you make contributes to something far greater. Start today, start small, and trust the process. These habits have the power to change your life forever, one step at a time. As you work toward incorporating these transformative habits into your life, you'll inevitably encounter challenges. Change, even when it's positive, isn't always easy. There will be days when you feel unmotivated, distracted, or overwhelmed. However, understanding and preparing for these obstacles can make all the difference in staying consistent and committed to your journey. One of the biggest hurdles people face is simply getting started. When you're attempting to build a new habit, the first few days or weeks can feel like the hardest part. Your brain is used to operating on autopilot with existing routines, and introducing something new requires conscious effort. To overcome this, start small, so small that it feels almost impossible to fail. For example, if you're trying to exercise regularly, commit to just 2 minutes of movement a day at first. The goal is to build momentum and prove to yourself that you can follow through. Once the habit is established, you can gradually increase the intensity or duration. Another helpful strategy is to stack your new habit onto an existing one. This technique, often called habit stacking, involves pairing your desired habit with something you already do daily. For instance, if you want to start journaling, you could tie it to your morning coffee ritual. By attaching the new habit to an established routine, you reduce the effort required to remember and implement it. After the initial excitement of starting a new habit fades, you may hit a plateau. This is a normal part of the process, but it can be discouraging. You might feel like you're putting in effort without seeing noticeable results, which can lead to frustration or a desire to quit. To push through plateaus, remind yourself of the bigger picture. Progress isn't always linear, and the benefits of your habits often compound over time in ways that aren't immediately visible. Reflect on your why, the deeper reasons you started this habit in the first place, and use that as motivation to keep going. Celebrating small wins can also help sustain motivation. Each time you complete your habit, no matter how small it may seem, acknowledge your success. This positive reinforcement strengthens your commitment and keeps you focused on the long-term rewards. Life is unpredictable, and even the most disciplined individuals face setbacks. Whether it's an unexpected event, a change in routine, or a period of low energy, disruptions can make it challenging to stick to your habits. The key is to approach setbacks with compassion and a problem-solving mindset. First, let go of the idea that you need to be perfect. Missing a day or falling off track temporarily doesn't mean you failed. What matters most is how quickly you get back on course. Treat each setback as an opportunity to learn and adjust. Ask yourself, what caused the disruption? How can I prepare better in the future? For example, if you missed a journaling session because your mornings were unexpectedly hectic, consider shifting the habit to a more predictable time of day. Flexibility is essential for maintaining habits in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Another common challenge is feeling overwhelmed by the sheer number of changes you want to make. When you're inspired to transform your life, it's tempting to tackle everything at once. However, this approach can lead to burnout and make it difficult to sustain progress. The solution is to focus on one habit at a time. Prioritize the habits that will have the greatest impact on your overall well-being and start there. As each habit becomes ingrained, you'll build confidence and momentum, making it easier to incorporate additional changes over time. If you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, take a step back and simplify. Remember that even the smallest action is a step in the right direction. Progress doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. Developing resilience is crucial for navigating the ups and downs of habit formation. Resilience allows you to bounce back from setbacks, stay committed during difficult times, and maintain a positive outlook. One way to build resilience is by focusing on self-care. Habits like exercise, adequate rest, and mindfulness strengthen your ability to cope with stress and adversity. Another powerful tool is reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. Instead of viewing obstacles as barriers, see them as chances to develop problem-solving skills, patience, and perseverance. This mindset shift can turn setbacks into stepping stones on your path to success. You don't have to navigate the journey of habit building alone. Seeking support from friends, family, or a community can provide encouragement, accountability, and fresh perspectives. Share your goals with someone you trust and ask them to check in with you regularly. Their support can make a significant difference in staying motivated and consistent. If you prefer a more structured approach, consider joining a group or program focused on your specific habit. For example, A fitness class, book club, or online community can provide a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals reinforces your commitment and reminds you that you're not alone. Above all, trust the process. Change takes time, and the journey of building habits is rarely a straight line. There will be highs and lows, moments of progress, and periods of stagnation. What matters most is your willingness to keep showing up, even when it feels difficult. Each time you practice a habit, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. Over time, these small actions add up, shaping your identity and creating lasting change. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your efforts, and remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. As you integrate these habits into your daily routine, a pivotal transformation begins to unfold. What initially feels like a conscious effort eventually becomes second nature. This is the ultimate goal, not just building habits, but adopting a way of life that reflects your values, aspirations, and potential. In this part, we'll explore how to solidify these habits so they become a natural part of who you are. The process of habit formation follows a predictable path. At first, every action requires deliberate effort and willpower. However, with consistency, these actions start to require less mental energy. Eventually, they become automatic, something you do without even thinking. This shift happens through repetition. The more you practice a habit, the stronger the neural pathways associated with that behavior become. Over time, your brain essentially wires itself to support the new habit. For example, if you've committed to journaling every morning, the act of sitting down with a notebook and pen will soon feel as natural as brushing your teeth. The key to reaching this stage is persistence. Even on days when you don't feel motivated, showing up matters. Each time you perform the habit, you're reinforcing its place in your routine and moving closer to making it a permanent part of your life. One of the most powerful ways to solidify habits is by aligning them with your identity. Instead of focusing solely on what you want to achieve, think about the kind of person you want to become. This shift in perspective creates a deeper connection to your habits, making them more meaningful and sustainable. For example, rather than saying, "I want to exercise regularly," frame it as, "I'm the type of person who prioritizes my health." Instead of thinking, "I want to read more," tell yourself, "I'm a curious learner who values knowledge." When your habits are tied to your identity, they become expressions of who you are rather than tasks you need to complete. This approach also helps you maintain consistency. When faced with a decision, such as whether to skip a workout or stick to your plan, you can ask yourself, what would the person I want to be do in this situation? This simple question reinforces your commitment and keeps you aligned with your goals. One of the most fascinating aspects of habits is their ability to create a ripple effect. Adopting a single positive habit often leads to improvements in other areas of your life. This phenomenon, known as a keystone habit, occurs because certain habits have a disproportionate impact on your overall behavior. For instance, regular exercise is a common keystone habit. Not only does it improve physical health, but it also boosts mental clarity, increases energy levels, and enhances discipline. Similarly, habits like journaling or practicing gratitude can improve emotional well-being, strengthen relationships, and reduce stress. By focusing on keystone habits, you can create a chain reaction of positive changes. These habits serve as anchors that stabilize and elevate other aspects of your life, amplifying the benefits of your efforts. As your habits become more ingrained, it's important to guard against complacency. Once a habit feels automatic, it's easy to take it for granted or let it slip. To prevent this, continue to approach your habits with intention and mindfulness. One effective strategy is to periodically review your habits. Reflect on what's working, what could be improved, and whether your current habits still align with your goals. This practice ensures that your habits remain relevant and impactful as your priorities evolve. Another way to avoid complacency is by setting new challenges. For example, if you've been consistently reading for 15 minutes a day, you might increase the duration or tackle more challenging material. By pushing yourself to grow, you keep your habits fresh and engaging. Building habits is as much about the journey as it is about the destination. While it's natural to focus on the outcomes, whether it's achieving a goal, improving a skill, or transforming your lifestyle, don't forget to appreciate the process itself. Each small step you take is a testament to your commitment, resilience, and determination. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Recognize the effort you've put in and the changes you've made, even if they feel incremental. These moments of acknowledgement not only boost your confidence, but also reinforce your belief in your ability to grow and succeed. One of the most rewarding aspects of adopting new habits is the opportunity to inspire and support others. When people see the positive changes in your life, they may be motivated to embark on their own journey of growth. By sharing your experiences, challenges, and insights, you can create a ripple effect of inspiration. Whether it's through casual conversations, social media, or mentoring, sharing your story reminds others that transformation is possible. It also reinforces your own commitment to your habits, as teaching and encouraging others often deepens your understanding and dedication. As you solidify your habits and integrate them into your way of life, remember that growth is an ongoing process. There's always room to improve, refine, and explore new possibilities. This mindset keeps you curious, adaptable, and open to change. Rather than viewing habits as a checklist to complete, see them as tools for continuous self-improvement. Each habit you cultivate contributes to your journey of becoming the best version of yourself. Embrace the process with patience, gratitude, and a sense of curiosity, knowing that every effort you make brings you closer to your potential. We've journeyed through the power of small habits, how they compound over time, and the strategies for sustaining them. Now, it's time to reflect on the broader implications of these practices and how they pave the way for a life of purpose, fulfillment, and continuous growth. This final section ties everything together, reinforcing why these habits are not just tools for success, but also essential elements of a well-lived life. At their core, habits are more than just actions. They are reflections of your identity. Every habit you practice sends a message to yourself about who you are. When you consistently show up for yourself, whether it's through journaling, exercising, or practicing gratitude, you're affirming your commitment to becoming the person you want to be. This identity-based approach transforms habits from mere tasks on a to-do list into integral parts of your character. They become not just what you do, but who you are. For example, someone who exercises regularly is not just someone who works out. They are a person who values health and resilience. This shift in perspective makes habits more meaningful and sustainable as they align with your sense of self. One of the greatest benefits of cultivating positive habits is the alignment they bring to your life. Each habit you adopt is a deliberate choice to prioritize what matters most to you. Over time, this intentionality creates a life that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. For instance, by committing to daily reading, you're investing in personal growth and expanding your horizons. Through practicing gratitude, you're choosing to focus on the positive and nurture a sense of abundance. These habits, while small in isolation, collectively shape a life rooted in purpose and clarity. When your actions align with your values, you experience a sense of harmony and fulfillment. You're no longer caught in the chaos of reactive living. Instead, you're steering your life in a direction that resonates with who you truly are. As your habits shape your identity and values, they also influence the world around you. This ripple effect extends to your relationships, work, and community. The person you become through your habits is someone who inspires, uplifts, and empowers others. For example, the discipline and focus you develop through goal setting might inspire colleagues to strive for excellence. The mindfulness and gratitude you practice may strengthen your relationships, fostering deeper connections and mutual respect. These ripple effects are a testament to the far-reaching impact of small, consistent actions. When you embrace positive habits, you're not just changing your life, you're contributing to a better environment for everyone around you. This interconnectedness adds another layer of purpose to your efforts, reinforcing the importance of staying committed to your journey. One of the barriers that often prevents people from fully committing to new habits is the fear of change. Change, even when positive, can feel uncomfortable and uncertain. It challenges the familiar patterns we've grown accustomed to and pushes us out of our comfort zones. However, the discomfort of change is a small price to pay for the growth it brings. Every time you step into the unknown, you're expanding your capacity to adapt, learn, and thrive. Embracing change allows you to break free from limitations and discover new possibilities. Instead of fearing change, view it as an opportunity to evolve. Each habit you cultivate is a step toward becoming the person you're meant to be. While the process may not always be easy, the rewards are worth it. The journey of building habits doesn't have a fixed endpoint. There's always room to grow, refine, and explore new possibilities. This open-ended nature of personal development ensures that your life remains dynamic and full of potential. As you master one habit, you'll naturally feel inspired to tackle another. This cycle of growth keeps you engaged and motivated, continually challenging yourself to reach new heights. Over time, these incremental improvements create a life that's not only successful, but also deeply fulfilling. Now that you understand the power of small habits and their transformative potential, the next step is up to you. The path to change is paved with intention, consistency, and courage. You don't need to be perfect, and you don't need to have all the answers. What matters is that you start. Choose one habit from the list and commit to it today. Begin small, stay consistent, and trust the process. Remember, it's not about achieving perfection. It's about making progress, one step at a time. As you embark on this journey, keep in mind that every effort you make is an investment in your future. Each small action contributes to a larger vision, shaping the life you've always dreamed of. The power to change your life is already within you. All you have to do is take the first step. As these habits become woven into the fabric of your daily routine, you'll begin to notice subtle but profound shifts. Your mindset will expand, your confidence will grow, and your ability to navigate challenges will strengthen. Over time, these changes will compound, creating a life that looks entirely different from the one you started with. The transformation isn't just about achieving goals. It's about the journey of becoming the best version of yourself. Through small, intentional actions, you're creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. And the best part? This journey doesn't end. Each day presents a new opportunity to grow, evolve, and live more fully. So start today. Embrace the power of small habits and watch as they change your life forever.